It covers a lot of things. It covers sort of an exploration of the intersection of technology and communications and humans communicating with each other or creating art, textual art. And there are some things that are communications that are not art, but it's just sort of the evolution of human communications. And it's also an exploration of handwriting. There are letters from soldiers in World War I where you have one set of letters that their handwriting is very, very neat, very precise, and then you find out their father is a school teacher, and you know, kind of all makes sense. There's a couple of just like little interesting things, like a receipt for groceries for the Continental Army in 1776, where they had they had renamed Kingsbridge in the Bronx as Congress Bridge. This renaming did not survive. It continues to be Kingsbridge to this day. But that's the kind of thing they could do because they didn't have pre-printed receipts. They were writing them themselves, so they could call what they were standing on whatever they wanted. There's also examples of legal documents from various eras. We have one, a land, I think it's a land document from 1568. It's written in Elizabethan court hand, which kind of makes me seasick trying to read it. And we have another land document from Natchez in, I believe, 1808, and the actual content of them are obviously different because they're talking about two different pieces of land in two different locations, but the format is very similar. So you can, if you know what you're looking for, you can look at it and say, oh, this is a land document. The poem written in the civil rights safe house in Jackson was written sometime between 1964 and 1968. It's written in marker on, I think I would call it butcher paper. I don't know if it was meant to be fleeting, but it certainly is not on materials that contribute to it enduring. And nonetheless, it has. The poem itself is visually interesting because they change marker colors. They use a very artistic approach to presenting the letters on the page, so you can almost hear the musicality of it as well. It's just a really interesting piece. It is totally free, and it's on 2 levels this time, not just one. So the materials on the 2nd floor of the library you can see whenever the library is open. There are 2 things in the what we call the Dean's Case on the 3rd floor, which is just outside Special Collections, which you can also see anytime the library is open. The materials that are inside Special Collections you can see from 7:30 to 5 Monday through Friday, and 10 to 2 on Saturdays when school is in session. Definitely feel free to come by.